YouTube, Mjm4life here, bringing you the second section of my Pokemon Grab Bag Part 2. And we're just going to continue on from Section 1. Started off with this Porygon Z set here. So for this Porygon Z set, we're going to have Leftovers be our item of choice. We're going to have the Modest Nature, and then our EV spread is going to be 252 in HP, 120 Defense, 56 Special Attack, 80 Special Defense, just to give it to make it pretty bulky. Hold on a second, guys. I have a text. Sorry about this. This is very unprofessional. Okay. All right. Anyway, back to the video. So these EVs in defense and special defense are to give it some added bulk, because obviously it's not as bulky as Porygon 2 is, but because of its high special attack, you can afford to take away some special attack for defense. So we want to have this be pretty defensive. Now, the ability can be adaptability or it can be download. I personally would prefer adaptability. I like adaptability better than download in most situations, but download can be very effective as well. And for this set, especially since we have Nasty Plot on this set, a download really won't be all that necessary. So for this set, we're going to run Recover, Tri Attack, Nasty Plot as I already said, and then Thunderbolt just for added coverage, because with Thunderbolt and Tri Attack, I think that's you can pretty much hit everything. Everything. I'm trying to think of something that can take a combination of Thunderbolt and Tri Attack, and I can't think of anything. So I think this is actually perfect coverage. Since there is no Rotom. Rotom can take this. The regular Ghost Electric Rotom can take this, but that's the only Pokemon. And I mean, even that Rotom's not gonna want to take a Nasty Plot of Thunderbolt, especially if you get to plus 4 or plus 6. So anyway, so this set is basically pretty self-explanatory. You give it some decent bulk, and then you just Nasty Plot up until you get to plus 6, recover off any damage you might take, and then just start attacking with Tri Attack and Thunderbolt. Now, again, I don't know about you guys, but I've obviously used this set, but I've never seen a set like this. When people run Porygon Z, it's typically Scarfed or Spexed, especially because Spexed plus adaptability hits really, really hard. I mean, Spexed adaptability Hyper Beam is like almost Oko's Snorlax. But I've never seen a set like this, other than, obviously, I made this set, but I've never seen someone use a set like this. So again, most of these sets are going to be unpredictable. Nobody's going to predict this, especially when they see a Porygon Z tanking hits. They're going to be like, what is going on? And then, yeah, so this is pretty much a very, very effective set. And I think you guys should run it on your UU teams or RU teams. I'm not sure. I think Porygon 2 is UU. Or I think it's actually BL2 or something like that. Can't remember exactly what tier it is. But anyway, on to the next one, Flygon. The item is going to be Life Orb. You could also run Expert Belt for this set if you wanted to. Leftovers, not so much. Either Life Orb or Expert Belt. Expert Belt would be perfect to bluff a Scarf, because obviously this Flygon's not Scarfed. So the EV spread is going to be 4 in HP to round it off, 252 attack, 252 with speed, Jolly Nature. And now the moves are going to be Screech, Fire Punch, Earthquake, and Dragon Claw. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I feel bad for Flygon because it's pretty much the shafted dragon in Pokemon, because it doesn't get Dragon Dance, it doesn't get Swords Dance, and pretty much every other dragon gets one of those, if not both of those moves. And instead it gets the shitty Hone Claws, which you might as well run a Choice Band. I mean, Hone Claws is just not comparable to Dragon Dance or Swords Dance for that matter. But it does get Screech, and Screech is basically a Swords Dance. I mean, it's a poor man's Swords Dance, because it does the same thing. It lowers their defense by 2 instead of raising your attack 2 stages. It lowers their defense 2 stages, so it's essentially the same thing. So it's basically like having a Swords Dance Flygon, kind of, except all I have to do is switch out and that goes away. So that's the downside of Screech. But Screech, and then, I mean, the moves are self-explanatory. Fire Punch, Earthquake, and Dragon Claw. Perfect coverage, you know. I mean, Screech, Fire Punch for, Bronzongs and Steels, or Bronzongs, Earthquake for those Steel types, and Dragon Claw to round it off. You could also run Outrage, but you probably, for a set like this, you probably don't want to be locked into Outrage, especially since you don't have Swords Dance. So you can Screech something, Outrage to kill it, and then you'll just be locked in Outrage, and the Pokemon that comes in won't have the lower defense. So that's why Dragon Claw would be the best option for this set. Trying to see what other dragon moves it gets. Hold on a second here. Yeah, I was gonna say if you were really bold, you could run Dragon Rush, but it doesn't even get it. So never mind. Another reason why it's shafted. So this set again, this is effective, very effective. Nobody runs this, and it can be very effective. Throw your opponent for a loop, especially if you have extra belt and they think you're scarfed and you play kind of that way. You can, go for obvious Dragon Claws, Earthquakes, and Fire Punches. Them thinking you're scarfed, then go for the Screech, and then switch your moves up, and they'll just be like, "What the fuck? What just happened?" So this set's very effective. Probably not as effective as the Choice Scarf or Choice Bandit set, but it has that extra added WTF factor, so that will give you an edge. And then the last set is essentially the same set as the Flygon set, just for the special side. We have Frostlass here. Life Orb is obviously the item of choice. Timid. You don't want to put the 4 HP in the 4 EVs in HP because it is weak to Stealth Rocks, and this will give you 4 Stealth Rock switch-ins as long as you don't take any prior damage. 252 attack, 252 speed, Snow Cloak, or you can run Curse Body. Doesn't really matter. I mean, if you're running a Hail team, obviously Snow Cloak is better, but Curse Body is good too. I mean, it doesn't really matter because Curse Body, unless you get it to take effect on the first move that hits you, this Frostlass is not really going to be tanking many hits, so Curse Body really is irrelevant. So the moves, Ice Beam and Shadow Ball for stab, and then Hidden Power Fire to round that off, and then Fake Tears, which is the special equivalent to Screech for those of you who don't know. It lowers their special defense 2 stages. So essentially, this is a nasty plotting Frostlass, quote unquote. So after Fake Tears, its special attack becomes pretty respectable, and with the Life Orb, nothing's going to want to take these hits. Hidden Power Fire for those steel types, and then Shadow Ball and Ice Beam for stab. I mean, the thing about Frostlass is it's got very, very good speed with 349. I mean, after running Hidden Power Fire, it's 349. But that's 110 base speed, so that's going to outspeed a lot of things, especially in UU, where I believe it is. So you go for the Fake Tears, they switch into their wall thinking you're going to, go be the standard Taunt Spikes Destiny Bond set. Bam. Hit it with a Fake Tears and hit it with a stab move or Hidden Power Fire, depending on the best move for that situation, and the opponent is just going to be confused. Another what the WTF Pokemon. Like, I've never seen something like this, and I don't know what to do about it. So that's it for the Grab Bag set. These are all the Pokemon. I mean, out of all of these 6, these 2 are definitely my favorites. Especially this Dusclops. Like, I just envision people rage quitting so much for these Pokemon because they're just trollish. As far as Pokemon that I've used this Toxicroak, I've used the Porygon Z, and yeah, the other 4 I actually have not used myself, but these are sets that I've come up with that I think can work, especially with the way the metagame is, because people are so used to the same old with like Porygon Z, same old Choice Scarf set, or it's just the same for Flygon, or Frostlass, same old lead Suicide Frostlass, Toxicroak, and OU, same old Bulk Up, Drain Punch, Sucker Punch set. Everybody's so used to the standard sets that running a set that's atypical will really throw them for a loop and will give you an advantage over the opponent. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Rate, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you guys think about these sets. Obviously each set has its strengths as well as weaknesses, and that is going to do it. Deuces.